The Great Hall of the Galactic Council was the largest room in the known universe. It floated in the empty space between 3 star systems. Thousands of seats rose in circles around a central platform. Each seat held a being from a different world. Some had scales, some had fur. Some had no bodies at all and existed only as light. They had all come together for one purpose. They decided which species could join the galactic community and which ones were too dangerous to allow. Today, they were looking at a small blue planet called Earth. Ambassador Torek stood at the center of the platform. He was tall and thin with gray skin and 4 black eyes. His people, the Velians, had been part of the council for 10,000 years. They had seen many species come and go. Most were forgotten within a generation. Torek expected this new species would be the same. He waved his long fingers, and a hologram appeared above him. It showed a planet covered in blue water and green land. White clouds moved slowly across its surface. "This is the homeworld of species 7291, Torek said. His voice was flat and bored. "They call themselves humans. They call their planet Earth." A soft murmur went through the crowd. 10,000 voices speaking at once created a sound like wind through leaves. "Show us these humans," said a deep voice from the upper seats. It belonged to General Krath of the warrior clans. His people were massive creatures with armored skin and teeth like knives. They respected only strength. Torek nodded and changed the image. Now the hologram showed a human. It was a male with brown skin and black hair. He stood with his arms at his sides. He wore simple cloth coverings on his body. Laughter erupted from several sections of the hall. "This is what lives on a Category 4 death world." Someone shouted, "It looks like prey." More laughter followed. A Category 4 world was one of the most dangerous types of planets. Extreme temperatures, deadly predators, poisonous plants, violent weather. Only the strongest creatures survived on such worlds. The beings that evolved there were usually covered in armor or armed with natural weapons. But this human had nothing. No claws, no fangs, no protective shell. Its skin looked soft enough to tear with a finger. Torek waited for the laughter to die down. "I understand your reaction. I had the same response when I first saw the data. But let me show you what our scientist found." He pulled up a list of biological facts about humans. They cannot survive temperature changes without artificial covering. If it gets too cold, they die. If it gets too hot, they die. They must drink water multiple times per day, or they die. They must eat food regularly, or they die. They must sleep for 8 hours out of every 24, or their minds stop working properly. General Krath snorted. 8 hours of sleep? My warriors rest for 1 hour per cycle. These creatures spend a third of their lives unconscious and vulnerable? Yes, Torek confirmed. Additionally, their bones break easily. Their skin offers no protection against weapons or environment. They have no venom, no poison, no natural defense of any kind. A single Velian child could kill an adult human with bare hands. The Council. Member from the insect worlds clicked her mandibles in confusion. How do they still exist? On a death world, such weakness should have meant extinction millions of years ago. That question troubled our scientists as well, Torek admitted. We have no satisfactory answer. They appear to have survived through luck and basic tool use. They made sharp rocks and pointed sticks. Somehow this was enough. Pointed sticks, General Krath repeated. He shook his great head. My people were forging plasma blades while these creatures were playing with rocks. Torek dismissed the hologram with a wave. Based on all available data, I recommend we classify species 7291 as harmless. They pose no threat to the galactic community. We will assign them a protected zone around their star system and leave them alone. In a few thousand years, we can. Check if they have developed enough to be worth our attention. I agree with this assessment, said the representative from the Mind Collective. They are barely above animals. Let them play with their pointed sticks in peace. All in favor of harmless classification? Torek asked. Lights flickered across the hall as thousands of delegates voted. The result appeared above the platform. Unanimous approval. Then it is decided, Torek announced. Species 7291, known as humans, are officially classified as harmless. This council will not interfere with their development unless they pose a threat to galactic peace. He paused and allowed himself a small smile, which, given their obvious weakness, seems extremely unlikely. The council moved on to other business. Within minutes, humans were forgotten. But far across the galaxy, on a small ship called the Eternal Seeker, something was happening that would change everything. Lieutenant Park Do-hyun sat at his computer station, watching data scroll across his screen. He was the ship's analyst. His job was to study whatever they found in deep space and make sense of it. Today, his instruments had detected something strange. An energy signature unlike anything in human records. It was coming from a point in space just ahead of their position. "Captain," he said, turning to face the command chair. "I think you should see this." Captain Beak Ga looked up from her own screen. She was a small woman with sharp eyes and gray hair tied back in a tight bun. She had commanded ships for 30 years. Very little surprised her anymore. But what happened next would surprise everyone, because the humans were about to meet the Galactic Council. And the Council had made a very serious mistake. They had called humans harmless. They were wrong. The alien ship appeared out of nothing. One moment, the space in front of the Eternal Seeker was empty. The next moment, there was a vessel the size of a small city floating before them. It was silver and shaped like a curved blade. Strange lights pulsed along its surface in patterns that hurt to look at. Communications Officer Kim Yuna was the first to speak. Her voice was calm even though her heart was beating fast. "Captain, we have contact. Unknown vessel. It is very big." Captain Beak Ga stood up slowly from her chair. She had trained for this moment her entire life. Every space officer did. First contact protocols were drilled into them from their first day at the academy. But training was not the same as reality. Reality was watching an impossible ship hang in the darkness of space, waiting to see what would happen next. "How big?" Ga asked. "Sensors say it is 3 kilometers long." Yuna swallowed. "Our ship is 200 meters. Lieutenant Park Do-hyun's fingers moved across his keyboard. He pulled up every scanner the ship had. Energy readings, hull composition, heat signatures. The data made no sense. The alien ship was using technologies that human science said were impossible. "They are scanning us," he reported. "I can feel their sensors going through our systems. They are reading everything. Our computers, our weapons, our crew count. Can you stop them?" Ga asked. Do-hyun laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Captain, trying to stop them would be like trying to stop the ocean with my hands. Their technology is thousands of years ahead of ours. Maybe more." The bridge was silent. 20 crew members sat at their stations. They were the best Earth had to offer. Scientists, engineers, soldiers, all of them chosen for this mission because they were smart and brave and good at staying calm. But none of them felt calm now. Then the main screen flickered. An image appeared. It showed a face that was not human. The creature had gray skin stretched over a long skull. 4 black eyes stared out from deep sockets. Its mouth was a thin line with no lips. When it spoke, the voice was translated by technology that the humans could not understand. "I am Ambassador Torek of the Velian Dominion, representative of the Galactic Council. You are humans from the planet Earth. We have been watching you. We have decided to make contact. GA took a deep breath. She had imagined this moment many times. In her imagination, she always knew what to say. Now her mind was blank. She decided to keep it simple. I am Captain Big GA of the Earth vessel Eternal Seeker. We come in peace. We are explorers. Torek tilted his head. The movement was strange, like a bird examining something small and possibly edible. We know what you are, he said. We have studied your species. You are primitive, but we do not wish to harm you. The Galactic Council has laws about contact with developing species. We will send the delegation to your ship. You will answer our questions. Then, we will decide how to proceed. The screen went dark. Yun looked at the captain. That did not sound friendly. No, GA agreed. It did not. 1 hour later, a small shuttle detached from the alien ship. It flew toward the Eternal Seeker and docked with their airlock. The human crew gathered in the main cargo bay to meet their visitors. Ambassador Torek was taller in person. He stood nearly 3 meters high. His body was thin and moved in ways that seemed wrong to human eyes. Behind him came 2 other aliens. One had green scales and multiple arms. The other was massive, covered in thick armor-like skin, with a mouthful of teeth. Torek looked around the cargo bay with obvious disappointment. Your vessel is smaller than I expected, and less advanced. Our initial scans showed primitive fusion reactors and chemical propulsion systems. How long did it take you to travel here from your homeworld? 14 months, GA said. Torek made a sound that might have been a laugh. We can make the same journey in 3 hours. Your species has much to learn. Dohan stood at the back of the human group. He watched the aliens carefully. He noticed how they looked at the humans. Their eyes held no fear, no respect, only mild curiosity, like scientists studying insects. He had seen that look before, in old videos, in history books. It was the look powerful people gave to those they considered beneath them. It was the look of someone who had already decided you did not matter. We have classified your species, Torek continued. You are listed as harmless in the Council records. This means you are not considered a threat. You will be allowed to exist within a protected zone around your star system. You will not be permitted to expand beyond these boundaries. You will not be given access to advanced technology. These rules are for your own protection. And if we disagree with these rules? GA asked. Tarek's 4 eyes blinked slowly. You do not disagree. You accept. This is not a negotiation. The Council has existed for 100,000 years. We have seen species like yours before. Small, weak, fragile. You are not special. You are not important. You are simply tolerated. The cargo bay was very quiet. Then Do-hyun stepped forward. Ambassador, he said. His voice was polite but firm. I am the ship's analyst. I study data. I find patterns. May I ask how you reached the conclusion that humans are harmless? Torek looked at him with what might have been surprise. We analyzed your biology, your history, your technology. The conclusion was obvious. I see. Do-hyun nodded slowly. Would you be interested in seeing some additional data? Information that perhaps your analysts missed? Missed? Torek's voice carried an edge of offense. Valiant scientists do not miss information. Our analysis was complete and thorough. I am sure it was, Do-hyun said. But with respect, Ambassador, I think there are some statistics about my species that you really should see. Numbers that might change your view of humanity. He smiled. It was a friendly smile. A helpful smile. Torek did not understand why that smile made him uncomfortable. Very well, the ambassador said. Show me your statistics. Do-hyun's smile grew wider. I thought you would never ask. The main screen in the cargo bay flickered to life. Do-hyun had connected his personal computer to the ship's display system. He stood in front of the aliens with his hands clasped behind his back. He looked like a teacher about to give a lesson. "Ambassador Torek," he began, "you said your scientists analyzed human biology. You found us weak, fragile, easy to kill. Is this correct?" Torek nodded. "Your bodies are soft. You have no natural weapons. A child of my species could defeat an adult human in combat. This is simply fact." "You are absolutely right," Do-hyun agreed. "Individually, humans are weak. We cannot run as fast as many animals on our planet. We cannot fight as well. Our teeth are small. Our claws are useless. If you put a naked human in a forest with no tools, many predators could kill them." The green-scaled alien made a sound of amusement. "Then you admit you are harmless." "No," Do-hyun said. "I admit we are weak. These are not the same thing." He touched his computer, and an image appeared on the screen. It showed a large, hairy creature with long, curved tusks. It stood in a snowy landscape. "This is a woolly mammoth. It lived on Earth thousands of years ago. It weighed 6,000 kilograms. It stood 4 meters tall. Its tusks could tear through metal. It was covered in thick fur that protected it from cold that would kill a human in hours." Do-hyun paused. "Where is the woolly mammoth today, Ambassador?" Torek studied the image. "I do not know. Where?" "Extinct, dead, gone forever." Do-hyun changed the image. "Humans killed them all. We hunted them with pointed sticks and sharp rocks. The same tools you laughed at. It took us a few thousand years, but we erased them from existence." The cargo bay was silent. "Let me show you more," Do-hyun said. The screen filled with images. Animal after animal appeared and disappeared. Each one was accompanied by the same word: extinct, extinct, extinct. The dodo bird, gone. The great auk, gone. The passenger pigeon. There were 5 billion of them. 5 billion, Ambassador. Now there are 0. Who knows? We killed every single one. The armored alien, the one with the teeth, shifted his weight. "You killed all these creatures?" "Why? Different reasons. Some we ate. Some we killed for sport. Some we killed because they were in our way. Some we killed by accident, just by existing near them." Do-hyun shrugged. "The reason does not matter. What matters is the result. When humans decide something should die, it dies. It just takes time." He pulled up a new set of data. "Your scientists studied our biology. Did they study our psychology? Our behavior? Our history?" "History is irrelevant," Torek said. But his voice was less certain now. "History is everything," Do-hyun replied. "Let me tell you about a war we fought. We called it World War II. It lasted 6 years. In those 6 years, humans killed approximately 80 million other humans. The number hung in the air. 80 million, Do-hyun repeated. That is more than the population of many planets. And we did not kill each other because we were different species. We did not kill each other over territory or food. We killed each other over ideas, over beliefs, over the color of our skin and the names of our gods." The green-scaled alien spoke quietly. "You war among yourselves? You kill your own kind?" "Constantly. Throughout all of our history. We have never stopped." Do-hyun pulled up images of weapons. "We started with rocks and sticks. Then we made swords and arrows. Then guns. Then bombs. Then we built weapons that could destroy entire cities in a single flash of light." A new image appeared. It showed a mushroom cloud rising into the sky. "This is a nuclear explosion. We have thousands of these weapons pointed at each other right now. Enough to burn our entire planet to ash. We built them because we were afraid of each other. Torek's 4 eyes were very wide now. You could destroy your own species. And you choose to keep these weapons? We choose to have the option, Do-Hyun said. Just in case we need it. He changed the screen again. This time, it showed a simple chart. Now let me tell you about persistence hunting. This is how our ancestors survived. They had no claws, no fangs, no venom. So they developed something else. They developed the ability to never stop. The chart compared different predators on Earth. Wolves hunt in packs. They are fast and smart. They catch their prey about 14% of the time. Lions are bigger and stronger. They catch their prey about 25% of the time. Humans? 100%. Impossible, said the armored alien. No predator has a perfect success rate. Human persistence hunters do, Do-Hyun said, because we do not need to be faster than our prey. We do not need to be stronger. We just need to follow it. Our bodies can regulate temperature through sweating. Most animals cannot do this. They must stop and rest or they will overheat. Humans do not stop. We walk after our prey for hours, for days, for as long as it takes. We follow the animal until it collapses from exhaustion. Then we kill it while it lies helpless on the ground. He looked directly at Tarek. We do not chase until our prey escapes. We chase until our prey dies. There is no escape from a human who has decided to catch you. We will follow you across continents. We will follow you across oceans. We will follow you to the ends of the earth and beyond. It is in our blood. It is in our bones. It is what we are. Tarek took a step backward. He did not seem to realize he was doing it. So, Do-Hyun said, his voice still calm and friendly, you classified us as harmless. You looked at our soft skin and our small teeth and decided we were no threat. But Ambassador, those woolly mammoths had thick skin and huge tusks. They are gone. We are still here. He turned off the screen. Humans are not dangerous because of what we are. We are dangerous because of what we decide to be. We decided those mammoths should die. They died. We decided to split the atom and build bombs that could end all life on our planet. We did it. He stepped closer to the aliens. The question you should be asking, Ambassador, is not whether humans are dangerous. The question is, what have we decided about you? The cargo bay was completely silent. Then Captain Ga spoke. Her voice was casual, almost amused. So, Ambassador Tarek, would you like to reconsider that harmless classification? Ambassador Tarek returned to the Velian ship without another word. His shuttle detached from the Eternal Seeker and flew back at maximum speed. The alien vessel vanished into subspace moments later. Captain Ga watched the empty space, where the massive ship had been. Well, she said quietly, that went differently than expected. Lieutenant Do-Hyun stood beside her. His face showed no emotion. Do you think I scared them, Captain? I think you terrified them. Ga turned to look at him. Was that your plan? They called us harmless, Do-Hyun said. They looked at us like we were nothing, like we did not matter. I have read history books. I know what happens when powerful people decide other people do not matter. I wanted them to understand that we are not prey. We are not victims. We are not harmless. Yuna approached from her station. The alien ship left behind a probe. It is watching us, recording everything. Let it watch, Jihei said. We have nothing to hide. Across the galaxy, Tarek's report reached the Galactic Council in record time. He had marked it with the highest priority level. Emergency session required. Existential threat assessment. Within hours, the Great Hall filled once more. This time, there was no boredom. No casual dismissal. The delegates sat in tense silence as Torek took the central platform. "Fellow delegates," he began. His voice was not steady. "I must admit an error. Our classification of species 7291 was incorrect. Dangerously incorrect." General Krath leaned forward in his seat. "Explain. You told us they were weak. You said a child could defeat them. In physical combat, yes. A human is fragile. But humans do not rely on physical combat." Torek activated his display. The images Do-Hyun had shown began to appear. They use tools, weapons, and their weapons are terrifying. The council watched in silence as Torek presented the data. The extinct animals, the nuclear weapons, the wars, the kill statistics. 80 million dead in a single war, whispered the Mind Collective representative. That number is difficult to process. It gets worse, Torek said. Their history is filled with such conflicts. They fight constantly. They kill constantly. And each time they fight, their weapons become more powerful. They went from sharp rocks to nuclear bombs in less than 10,000 years. That is nothing. That is the blink of an eye. The representative from the insect world spoke. Her voice was a series of clicks and hums translated by technology. What is their current military capability? Unknown. They have only barely left their home system. Their ships are primitive. But their weapons research continues. They are already working on theories that could lead to faster than light travel. If they solve that problem, if they gain access to real space travel. He did not finish the sentence. He did not need to. General Krath stood. His massive form cast a shadow across half the chamber. Then we destroy them now, before they become a threat. Send a battle fleet to their system. Burn their planet. End this before it begins. Murmurs of agreement rose from several sections, but Torek raised his hand. I considered this option. I must advise against it. Why? Krath demanded. They are weak now. In 100 years, they might not be. Strike while we can, because of what the human analyst told me. Torek's voice dropped low. He said they chase their prey until it dies. They never stop. Never. I did research on this after I returned. It is true. Humans have hunted animals across entire continents. They have tracked enemies for generations. They hold grudges for centuries. He looked out at the assembled delegates. If we attack them and fail to kill every single one, the survivors will remember. They will rebuild. They will learn. They will find us. And they will not stop until they have had their revenge. Not in a year. Not in a century. Not ever. The chamber was very quiet. There is more, Torek continued. Humans have a concept they call total war. When they are threatened, they do not just send soldiers. They turn their entire society into a weapon. Factories make bombs. Schools teach tactics. Children grow up learning to hate the enemy. Every resource, every person, every idea becomes part of the war effort. We have seen this before in other species, said the Mind Collective representative. It is not unique. No, but humans do it better than anyone we have ever encountered. And they do it fast. In their World War II, they went from a peacetime economy to full military production in less than 2 years. They built more weapons in those 2 years than most species build in a century. General Krath growled. You make them sound invincible. They are not. They are flesh and bone. They die like everything else. They do, Torek agreed. But they make dying very expensive for their enemies. And they learn from every death. Every defeat makes them stronger. Every challenge makes them more dangerous. He pulled up one final image. It showed a human city at night. Millions of lights glittered in the darkness. Towers of glass and steel reached toward the sky. Look at this, Torek said. They built this. They came from caves, Ambassador. From living in dirt and eating raw meat. And in less than 50,000 years, they built cities that glow like stars. They split the atom. They walked on their moon. They are now reaching for the stars. He turned off the display. If we attacked them, we might win. We probably would win. But we would not destroy them completely. We would hurt them. We would make them angry. And then we would spend the rest of eternity looking over our shoulders, waiting for the day when they came for revenge. The council chair spoke for the first time. Her voice was old and tired. What do you recommend, Ambassador? Torek was silent for a long moment. I do not know, he admitted. I have studied thousands of species. I have never encountered anything like humans. They are weak and strong, primitive and advanced, violent and creative. They contradict themselves constantly. They fight each other with terrible fury and then help each other with incredible kindness. He shook his head. I do not know what to do about humans, but I know what not to do. Do not ignore them. Do not underestimate them. And whatever you do, do not make them your enemy. The council voted to postpone any decision. They needed more information, more study, more time. But time was something they might not have, because back on the Eternal Seeker, Captain Jihei was already composing a message to Earth. First contact had been made. And humanity was about to announce itself to the galaxy. 6 months passed. In that time, everything changed. The message from the Eternal Seeker reached Earth and caused the biggest reaction in human history. Countries that had fought for centuries suddenly worked together. Old enemies became allies. The entire planet united under one simple truth. We are not alone, and we need to be ready. The Galactic Council watched this transformation with growing concern. Their probes around Earth sent constant reports. The humans were building, researching, preparing. Their primitive ships were being upgraded. Their scientists were working day and night on new technologies. They were moving faster than any species the Council had ever observed. When the humans requested a formal meeting with the full Council, the request was granted immediately. No waiting period, no bureaucratic delays. The Council was too worried to say no. The human delegation arrived in a ship that had not existed 6 months ago. It was still primitive by galactic standards, but it was twice as fast as anything humans had built before. The Council noticed. They took notes. They worried even more. Captain Beak Jie led the delegation once more. Lieutenant Park Do-hyun walked beside her. Behind them came 12 representatives from the new unified Earth government. They wore simple clothes and carried no weapons. They did not need weapons. Everyone in the Council knew what humans were capable of. The Great Hall was full. Every seat was taken. Every species in the galactic community had sent someone to watch. This was the most important moment in 100 years. Perhaps longer. GA stepped onto the central platform. She looked around at the thousands of alien faces. Some showed fear. Some showed curiosity. Some showed hostility. She had prepared for all of these reactions. Members of the Galactic Council, she began. Her voice was calm and clear. Thank you for agreeing to meet with us. We know you have concerns about our species. We are here to address those concerns. Torek sat in the front row of the Velian section. He had been appointed permanent liaison to humanity. He was not happy about this assignment, but he understood why he had been chosen. He knew humans better than anyone else in the galaxy now. That knowledge kept him awake at night. We know what you think of us, GA continued. Lieutenant Do-hyun showed you our history, our wars, our weapons, our capacity for violence. Everything he told you was true. We are not going to pretend otherwise. She paused to let this sink in. Humans have done terrible things. We have killed each other. We have destroyed species. We have built weapons that could end all life on our planet. This is our truth. We cannot change our past. General Kraft stood in his section. His voice boomed across the hall. Then why should we trust you? Why should we allow you to leave your system? You admit you are dangerous. You admit you are violent. Give us one reason not to destroy you now while we still can. The hall went silent. Every eye turned to GA. She smiled. It was not a threatening smile. It was sad, almost gentle. Because, General, you are asking the wrong question. She gestured to Doyen. He activated a new display. Images began to appear above the platform. But these were not images of war or death. They showed humans helping each other. A man carrying a stranger out of a burning building. Doctors working through the night to save patients they had never met. Volunteers building homes for people who had lost everything. Scientists sharing discoveries freely with the world. Soldiers throwing themselves on explosives to save their friends. Lieutenant Doing showed you our kill statistics, Jihei said. He did not show you our save statistics. Let me correct that now. The numbers appeared on screen. Humans who risked their lives for strangers in the past year. Millions. Humans who donated blood to people they would never meet. Tens of millions. Humans who gave money, time, and effort to help others in need. Billions. We are capable of terrible violence, Jihei said. This is true. But we are also capable of incredible kindness. We do not just destroy. We also create. We protect. We heal. More images appeared. Humans rescuing animals from extinction. Scientists working to clean poisoned waters. Engineers building systems to feed hungry populations. Artists creating beauty from nothing. The question is not whether humans are dangerous. We are. The question is what we choose to do with that danger. She stepped forward. General Krath, you asked why you should trust us. Here is my answer. You should not trust us. Not yet. Trust is earned over time. We have only just met. But here's what I can promise. Her voice grew stronger. Humanity will not hide what we are. We will not pretend to be peaceful when our history is written in blood. But we will show you, day by day and year by year, that we can be more than our worst moments. We can be partners. We can be friends. We can be allies. She turned to face the entire hall. You have been building this council for 100,000 years. You have maintained peace. You have advanced knowledge. You have created something valuable and good. We want to help you protect it. Not because we are afraid of you, but because we believe in what you are building. Don stepped up beside her. You saw what we do to our enemies, he said. Imagine what we could do for our friends. The same determination that lets us hunt prey across continents could help us chase solutions to problems that have troubled you for centuries. The same creativity that built nuclear weapons could build technologies you have never imagined. The same stubbornness that makes us dangerous could make us the most loyal allies you have ever had. Jihei took over again. We are offering you a choice. You can fear us. You can fight us. You can try to contain us in our little corner of the galaxy. But that will not work. We will grow. We will spread. Eventually, we will be too strong to stop. And then you will have an enemy that never forgets and never forgives. She paused. Or you can accept us. Work with us. Teach us and learn from us. Help us become the best version of ourselves instead of the worst. If you do that, if you give us a chance, we will stand beside you against any threat. We will fight for you. We will die for you. Because that is what humans do for the people we care about. The hall was completely silent. The choice is yours, Jihei said. Fear or friendship. War or partnership. Enemies or allies. We cannot make this decision for you. but I hope you will choose wisely." She stepped back. Tarek rose slowly from his seat. He walked to the platform and stood beside the humans. Every eye in the hall watched him. "I was the one who classified humans as harmless," he said. His voice carried across the chamber. "I was wrong. They are the most dangerous species we have ever encountered. But I have learned something else in these 6 months. Something important." He looked at GA, at Doyen, at the human delegation standing proud and unafraid before the greatest powers in the galaxy. "Humans are also the most hopeful species I have ever encountered. They believe in possibilities. They believe in change. They believe that tomorrow can be better than today. And they are willing to work for that belief, to fight for it, to die for it." He turned back to the council. "I say we give them a chance. I say we accept their offer. Because if humans are half as good at being friends as they are at being enemies, we will never regret this decision." The vote took 3 hours. It was not unanimous, but it was enough. Humanity was granted provisional membership in the Galactic Council. Later, as the delegations left the Great Hall, General Kroth approached Captain Jihei. He towered over her, his armored form casting a deep shadow. "I voted against you," he said. "I know," Jihei replied. "I still think you are dangerous. We are." Kroth was silent for a moment. Then he did something unexpected. He extended his massive hand. "I hope you prove me wrong, human." Jihei took his hand and shook it firmly. "Give us time, General. We are very good at changing minds." She smiled. And for the first time since first contact, she felt hope. Humanity had taken its first step into the galaxy. Not as prey, not as a threat, but as something new, something that might just change everything.